Welcome back. I'm going to do another key feature for quadratic equations. It's kind of a spin-off from the last video because the last video I showed you how to get it into vertex form and identify the vertex. And now this is just another way, an alternate way, to find the vertex if your function is in standard form. So I've got at the top here, you guys can see my standard form right there. And then this is another little formula, which actually this is part of the quadratic formula, the opposite of b over 2a part. And this will help you get the x-coordinate of your vertex if the function starts out in standard form. So what this section does is they kind of start them out like in parentheses. They're not in standard form. It's too easy if they just gave it to you in standard form. So you guys are going to have to FOIL it and simplify it to get it into standard form before you can identify the vertex. So I'm going to get through this first one. I'm just going to FOIL. So I'm going to leave my f of x here and multiply 4x times x and then 4x times 5. Negative 4 times x, and negative 4 times 5. And then combine like terms. Okay, so there's my standard form. Now, here's where I'm going to use my formula, negative b over 2a. So my a is 4, and my b is 16. So I'm going to do the opposite of b over 2 times a, and I'm going to simplify that, and that's going to give me the x-coordinate of my vertex. Now, how do you find the y-coordinate? Well, I'm going to take the negative 2, and I'm just going to plug it back into my standard form equation, and that will generate my y-coordinate. So I'm going to plug it in wherever there's an x, simplify it to get my y. So it'll be 4 times negative 2 squared plus 16 times negative 2 minus 20, and that equals negative 36. I already did the calculation. So then that becomes my vertex. Okay. All right, let's keep going. So same thing. Now this one has a number in the front here. So you can do this two ways. You can distribute that through the first one, the first parenthesis, and then FOIL. Or you can FOIL first and then distribute the 4. I'm going to FOIL first. Just leave this 4 hanging in the front. And then I'm going to combine like terms. I'm going to kind of rearrange it as I go here. So it'll be negative x squared. It's 10 minus 8, so that's 2x. And then plus 80. And one more step. I'm going to distribute that 4 through the entire trinomial. So there's my standard form. So my a is negative 4, and my b is 8. So the opposite of b over 2 times a, it's just negative 8 over negative 8, which equals 1. So now I'm going to plug the 1 back into this final equation, wherever there's an x, to get my y. And again, I've already done the calculation, and that's 324. So that is my y-coordinate, and that makes up my vertex. Now that one would not be fun to graph because that number is kind of large. Okay, let's work on this last one. Now this one, I just have to distribute. It's not a full FOIL. I just have an X sitting out here in front. So that'll be 12x minus 2x squared. I am going to flip-flop those two just to get it in standard form. So my a is -2 and my b is 12. So the opposite of b over 2 times a is going to be -12 over -4, which equals 3. So now to get my y, I'm going to plug the 3 back into this equation right here. Wherever there's an x, I'm going to put a 3. And I've already done the calculation, and that one is 18. So 318, and that is my vertex. Now I know you guys are going to have a couple word problems that go along with this. And I think what they're going to have you do is write the function. So they might have you start it out, something like this, and then you have to just manipulate it like we did here to find your vertex. All right, see you later.